guys, what's up? What's up? This is Persia Red, and welcome to P Red Space. Um, I hope you guys have got your drinks, you got your smoke, you got your food, whatever it is you guys need to chill and relax in this amazing space. Today's video, I want to talk about ancestors, ancestor altars, and building up your ancestor altar. Because I know a lot of people ask me about this all the time, how to make their ancestor altar. Well, guess what? I am here to tell you how to make your ancestor altar. Okay, so first of all, a lot of people may not know, depends, what is an ancestor? An ancestor is someone from your bloodline that has crossed over, passed on, that is no longer an earthbound spirit. Earthbound spirit is another video, we'll have to do it another time, but it just means that they're not still walking around in this plane and they've gone and transferred over. And you have thousands and thousands of ancestors. So there won't be like just your great-grandparents, your grandparents, your mom, your dad, or whatever. You have thousands of years full of ancestors that share your bloodline. So you won't know the names of all of them. You won't know the likes and the things of all of them, but that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know you. Your blood, their blood is mixed. Their blood flows through your veins. They're the reason why you're able to be here. So no worries with that. Secondly, okay, what is an altar? If you've ever been to church and the pastor's behind this immaculate table with like gilded sheet or a cloth that is embroidered, has candles on it, he's probably breaking bread and pouring wine on it, whatever, that's an altar. Facts, that's an altar. So it's basically a table where you can have a piece of cloth on it. You don't have to, but you can have a piece of cloth on it, or you can just leave the table as is, make sure the table's clean, and you can dedicate that as your altar space. So now, next, what I want to get into are having the 4 elements on your altar. And what are the 4 elements? Wind, water, fire, and earth. Okay, so we said wind, water, fire, and earth. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is earth. Now, disclaimer, I can be a little extra with my earth, okay? So I'm going to tell y'all how extra I am. Don't worry. I'm going to tell y'all. Y'all don't have to do this. This is just my thing. Remember, your ancestor altar is supposed to be your thing. Your magic is your thing, okay? So, 1, earth. You want to have flowers. Now, this is a dried flower because I'll take a flower out of all of my bouquets that I buy for myself and my ancestors, and I will dry one of them out. Why? Because during times like this, if you are aware of what we're in, you may not be able to go and get fresh flowers. So I dry flowers, preserve the energy, and I put them on my altar. Now, I do have access to fresh flowers right now, so I do have fresh flowers on my ancestor altar. But for those that do not have it, you can dry flowers out. So this is earth. This is representative, not just earth, but it also represents your ancestors. So, importance. Another piece of earth that you can use, everybody knows about. If you don't know about this, is where you been. Crystals. Crystals are earth. You see that energy in this? This is a selenite tower. I like selenite because it helps you connect with higher guides, your higher spirits. It is a good protective stone. And I use it during mediumship and when I'm just doing regular readings. And it keeps me connected to source, to the ancestors, to make sure that I give everything like in-depth detail, genuine from the heart, so that it impacts whoever I'm giving it to in a good way. So you can have amethyst, clear quartz, desert rose, selenite, celestial quartz. It doesn't even matter. Whatever crystal your ancestors want or you want, you could put that on your altar, and look at that. It represents earth. So you're good. You're good. Now, I did say that I was extra. So, people that know me know that what I'm about to show y'all is very important to me, and I love them. Organites. I love putting organites on my altars. Organites are basically crystals mixed with metals and other symbolic things inside of resin. Organites magnify the power of crystals and other symbols. Some people make their organites with resin, some people make it without. I don't want to go too much into organites as they are like a conversation for another time. But what I can say is you don't have to have one as big as this. I am extra, and I have lots of these. You can do something smaller, but I like having these on my altar. I actually have another smaller one than this on my altar right now. So this is not a big thing that it's not on my altar. It's so pretty. And you see the clear quartz here. You see the black tourmaline here, which is my protection. There's amethyst in here, which is good for psychic protection and enhancing psychic awareness. And I have a dragonfly. You see that? There's a dragonfly. Why is there a dragonfly? There's a dragonfly because dragonflies symbolize transformation. And I'm always transforming in myself to become better and level up and get better. So I wanted the dragonfly in my piece. Does that make sense? Cool. Good. So now that's what you have for your earth. Now we're going to go on to wind. So now we going on to wind. Wind. What about wind? Your element for wind is your incense. When you light it, the incense, the smoke and everything, it permeates through the air. This is your incense. I preferably like to use frankincense and myrrh incense. Frankincense gets rid of all the negativity, thoughts, behaviors, habits, things in space, while myrrh puts back in positive energy. So if you're taking something out, you want to put something better back in. This also has cinnamon in it. Cinnamon is gives like a pow factor. It's fire, it's energy. It pushes things to happen. It just gives it a kick. My ancestors also like incense. So, they like cinnamon. Of course they like incense. They also like cinnamon. So for me, having frankincense and myrrh with a little bit of cinnamon makes them happy. So there you have your wind. Now, for those that are saying, hey, T, I can't use incense because of, like it's stuffy, sinuses, where I live at, I can't have it. Like, what is a good alternative? A good alternative? Your breath is also wind. So when you're talking to your ancestors, either before or when you're done, or even in between, or all three, you can blow on your altar. Because it's your air. It's your wind. You're talking to them. So that's your breath. That's your life. That's your wind. So you can do that instead. That way you don't have to worry about where's my wind element coming from. You can use incense, or you can use yourself, or you can use both. It's generally up to you because this is your thing. So don't feel any type of way if you have to use alternatives. This is about it being for you. So now we got our earth, we got our wind. Now we're going to go on to water. Okay, so next is water. So I like to use alkaline water, purified water, spring water, or distilled water. And I use glass cups or wooden cups. You guys could use your discretion of what you want to use. I personally like using glass and wooden things for my ancestor altar. And that's the glass water, the wooden cup of water. That is for your ancestors to drink. They're just like us. They need to drink. So just fill it up to the top and you're good. Now, what I also do, this is me personally, I have a wooden bowl or a glass bowl of water as well. Because for me, spirits like to communicate through water with me because I am a water sign. So I keep a bowl of water, and it's different. It's just tap water. It's not something that my ancestors are going to drink. It's just, a medium that they're using to enhance the communication. So it's okay. So bowl of water and cup of water. Now in your cup of water, you may see bubbles. That is a good thing because the bubbles represent your ancestors being there. Like, I will never see bubbles in my bowl of water, but my cups of water always have bubbles. I mean, like gazillion bubbles. So that tells me that my ancestors are there, they're present, they're accounted for. And so if you see that, that is a good thing. That is a really good thing. So don't think anything of it. Like, don't think it's bad or anything. Like, that's your confirmation. That's them being like, hey there, we're here. We're here. You called us? Yeah, we're here. We're here. So, yes. So we've done earth, we've done wind, and we've done water. Next, we have fire. One of my favorites other than water. Okay. So now we are on to doing fire. Let's see. So for me, for fire, I am a 7-day candle girl. I love my 7-day candles. This is the type of candle that I put on my ancestor altar. It says ancestors. And in gold, it has a symbol, a sigil. I'll tell you what sigils are in another video. But it has a sigil that calls forth the ancestors. Now you can see on the inside, it has crystals and herbs inside. It's already dressed. And actually the wax of this candle has ancestor oil incorporated on the inside as well. So whenever I light candles like this, the flames get to jumping, gets to partying, you know what I'm saying? They be getting lit, like it's time, like we about to get. And I be like, hey. But no, my ancestors love this candle. Like it's the energy that comes off of it is very beautiful. And if I don't have this, I will use a plain white candle. Your ancestors may tell you to use different types of candles. You can also use tea lights. You can also use chime candles. You can also use taper candles and pillar. It just depends on what you have access to. I also have the round candles with the 3 wicks. I have two that has frankincense and myrrh scent. And like I said, with the wind, my ancestors love frankincense and myrrh. So for me to have it as a candle that can burn, all I really have to do is put my ancestor oil on it and some herbs, and they're happy. So use what you have access to. Do not feel like you have to go out and buy like specific candles. If you can, yes, do it. It's your ancestors. If not, it's okay. It's not dire. Like, as long as you have fire on there. Now, in saying that, fire safety. If you're going to leave your 7-day candle lit, make sure you're home, or make sure there are people at home that can watch the candle so that you do not burn your house down. Please do not burn your house down. Fire is very unpredictable, and when it's lit, it's lit. Believe me, when it's lit, it's lit. If you do want to leave your candle lit and you're not going to be in the house, put it in the bathtub of water, put it in a sink of water, or put it in a big bowl of water, because you want a buffer that can help if something happens and maybe the glass breaks or the fire gets out of control and dancing too much, the energies are too excited, because the energies can get really excited and they're not paying attention that, oh, this fire is going to harm something. They're just like, oh, we're here, we're here, we're here. And they get excited. The flame gets big. And it could also be poor quality of the candle at the time that it was made. It could be anything. So you want to be careful with that. If you are going to put your candle out when you leave and stuff, do not blow your candle out. I know personally, and I hear it all the time, blowing out your candle is like blowing away the spirits. You do not want to blow away your ancestors. So you can snuff it. Like I said, if you've ever been to church, they have like this long stick with like a little bell that doesn't move at the end. That's a snuffer. It snuffs out the candle. That's good. You can use tongs. Like if you smoke hookah, they usually give you tongs to hold the charcoal with. You can use that to squeeze the flame. It'll put the flame out. Last but not least for me, this is the last resort. If I don't have either in my possession, I will get a thing of water on the tip of my finger and drop the water on the flame to put it out. Now remember, there is hot candle wax that is liquid in this thing, so it'll make a pop noise. And it might sound scary. Not for me, but I'm just saying, just because you're putting water on hot wax. So that's why I said it should be last resort. And sometimes it takes a couple of drops of water, because sometimes the flame, they don't want to go nowhere. They want to stay lit. And they just like, no, I'm not getting put out for nobody. Sometimes you really got to talk them down and be like, hey, you got to go out because I got to leave. Perfectly fine. So that is what you do for fire. So we got earth, we got wind, we got water, and we got fire. If anybody has any tips or anything, put them down below, because there are people that are just getting on this journey that have no idea about ancestor altars and how things work. And that there are people that have started this journey, but they didn't even know anything about ancestors, or they just didn't start their ancestor altar. So we all have different ways of doing things. I was just giving you some basics. So now I'm going to add some more stuff that you can add to your ancestor altar. Okay, so some other things you can add to your ancestor altar might be like little trinkets or something that your ancestors gave you. Like if they gave you a salt lamp or something like that, you can put that on there. If you know they like to wear a special perfume, like my grandmother liked Jean Naté, I will put that on there. You could put like their jewelry, their watches. You can put their pictures on there. So like it's just representing them, who they are. And what else? You can feed your ancestors. You can feed them food. So like my ancestors, I gave them blackberries earlier. I'm Caribbean, so my ancestors, they like to eat. They like jerk chicken. They like patty and cocoa bread. They like curry goat. They like kidney. They like cornmeal porridge. They like porn. They be asking for it. Your ancestors might want some fried chicken. They might want some apple pie. They might want some pumpkin pie. You know what I'm saying? They might want some basmati rice, some jasmine rice. They might want some rice and peas. Whatever they prefer, or they prefer, get it. I'll be at the stores, 7-Eleven, somewhere, and they might be like, I want like a small cherry pie or a little pound cake. Okay. They might see some chicken and be like, oh, let's make some chicken tonight. Okay. Let's make some chicken tonight. We gonna eat. How long do you leave it on the altar? Depending on what you cooked or what you made or what you got. Like I gave them golden Oreos yesterday. I left that on for 24 hours. When I cook something, I leave it for 12 hours or less. If I go to pick it up and they're just like, no, I'll leave it. If I go and they're like, yeah, they're done, then they're done. I'm gonna take it up. I give them as much as the space can hold, because they need it too. So, they eat, they drink, they love the elements. You have the stuff that represents them there. Another thing you can do is burn ancestor money. You can find ancestor money on Amazon. Just type in ancestor money or hell notes. There's nothing evil about it. It's just a name. Hell notes. It's just a name. And you can burn it. Make sure you open a window. Get something that is fireproof, that can hold the money, and you burn it, and you have the windows open so that you're not inhaling the chemicals and stuff like that. And you basically offer it to them as an offering. Like, this is the money I'm offering to you guys. I hope it finds you. I hope this pays for all of my karmic debt. I'll talk about karmic debt later in another video. I hope that this gets rid of your karmic debt, and I hope that this money comes back to me 1,000-fold and blessings, like, you know what I'm saying? You can make up your own words to say what you want to say when you give offerings like this. What else can you do? You can put anything on there. Like, I have a bell on my altar. So when I'm talking to them or feeding them or doing anything where I want their attention, I'm calling them forth, I will ring the bell. You don't have to have a bell. This is my preference. This is just our thing. This is what we do because this is how I get their attention. You don't have to do the same thing. You can just come up with your own stuff. This is why it's your thing. Ancestor altars are not complicated. They do not have to be complicated. It is just more of, okay, you have the elements, and now you want to make sure like you have the stuff that they want on the altar, and that you're listening to what they're saying. And this is your space of communicating with them. Your altar can be out in the open, or it could be hidden. I know some of you are not out in the open with who you are, and you're still trying to figure out who you are, so you do not have to have it out in the open. For me, because, I don't care. My family accepts me, my friends accept me, and anybody that doesn't is not in my life. I have my stuff out in the open, so people, when they come in, the first thing they're going to notice is like, oh, there's a lot of incense burning. There's a lot of candles, and there's a lot of plants. Yes, there is. That's me. So sometimes they don't even notice that there's an ancestor altar, because the ancestor altar has flowers, candles, and incense going, and I already have a lot of that going as well in my space. So it's just kind of like, oh, okay, this is, normal for her. But in fact, that is an ancestor altar. And like I said, my friends and family, they know me. They have no problem with it. It's not a big thing. So, you have the option of hiding it, and you have the option of keeping it out and open, or just having it out, not necessarily broadcasting it, but just having it out. I like to make sure they get sunlight, that like I can walk past and say, hey guys, what's going on? Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? You know what I mean? And it's all great. It's all gravy. So do not worry yourself over how it should look. Do not try to make your altar look like someone else's altar. It should be representative of you and your ancestors and who you are. Does that make sense? Good. I think that I covered everything that I wanted to cover for this. I want to thank you guys for coming by and chilling with me, and, just kicking up with the vibe, sharing the energy, upgrading frequency. Please don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to share this with others that may need this information, because I'll be giving a lot more information about so many different things. You heard me in a video. There was stuff I was like, I'll say this on another video, meaning, I got some stuff to talk about. Also, hit the notification bell to the side, to the right of when you're looking at this, because that will tell you when I'm recording live or when I post a video. That way you won't miss anything, and you'll be able to kick back with me, because why wouldn't you want to kick back with me? And you get to catch my videos, and we get to have a little powwow and talk, and then you guys can give me your feedback as far as having different ideas and things of that nature. Okay? I'm not going to keep y'all any longer. I got to go. I got to run. I got things to do. I got clients to deal with. I will also put links to where I got my candle from and my organite from. So if you guys would like to get such candle or organites, you can. And I'll put my social media, so if you guys want to follow me on something else other than here, you guys can do that. I'm grateful to see you guys' faces. I'm glad you guys came by to spend some time, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.